And we're live. This is Alex Schechter.
And I'm David Acosta.
And this is Let's Review. Tonight we're going to discuss a bunch of things, including Ninjas vs. Pirates. David needs tablet recommendations. We're going to talk about internet balloons. What are those? You'll find out. We're going to skip some of the things we're going to talk about because, as you may have noticed, our other co-host Bill isn't here. We're also going to talk about Microsoft's Xbox, possibly some movie stuff. Let's get started, right, David?
Let's do it.
So first, before we start, I just want to talk about a website. So as some of you may know, even though we don't have any viewers quite yet, but anyone who may watch this in the future may know that Google Reader is shutting down. That's an RSS feed reader that's been around for a long time. A lot of people in the tech community are pretty upset about it. But if you are interested in RSS feeds or anything like that, you can try. It's a Yoleo Reader, YOLEO Reader.com, one word, and just give it a try. It's free. It's really good. Kind of in the vein of the old Reader, which is another good one. But Yoleo Reader is solely managed by a single developer, and she's really great at getting back to people about feedback. I messaged her asking her a question. She got back to me almost immediately, which is pretty amazing. So definitely, if you know people who are interested in RSS feeds and are looking for an alternative to Google Reader, give Yoleo Reader a try and tell your friends about it. So we're gonna do a new section today called Opening Question, and the question is, who would win in a fight? Ninjas versus pirates.
The lifelong debate.
Yes, David, do you want to lead
I've
off?
been hearing this debate for years. All right. I'm gonna just go right out there and I'm a ninjas guy. That's me.
Ninjas?
Yeah, I'm a ninjas kind of guy.
I've gone back and forth. It's a thing. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I think pirates are cool. I see the appeal. I see the whole swashbuckling sea life, but honestly, I don't know. Ninjas, you got the whole black getup. You can't see them. They're silent, stealthy. Bam, in and out.
But pirates have pirate ships, so
yeah.
Ninjas,
But
if it's just
what if I'm not in the water? Like,
right, but a pirate can just sit there and bomb the shit out of you with cannons, right?
True. But I think a ninja would be able to find a way to get onto that pirate ship.
Well, that's the thing. Is it like a pack of ninjas, or is it one ninja versus a whole pirate ship?
That would be pretty unfair.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe one ninja would be able to take out a whole pirate
think
ship.
So?
If they were a good enough ninja. It
Yeah.
depends on the skills of the ninjas and the pirates.
Yeah. Well, ninjas kind of have more. Well, that's I guess not true. They don't really have a code of honor, do they? Because
I don't know anything about like real life ninjas. I'm gonna be completely honest. I know about movie ninjas and Wolverine fighting them in the snow.
So David says ninjas. I still say pirates.
So what else? What else are your reasons for pirates?
Well, pirates are just badass, right? I mean, okay, a ninja would win if he can get up on the pirate unawares and like kill him in his sleep. But I think in a straight up brawl, a pirate versus a ninja, pirates are supposed to be good at sword fighting, right?
Yeah, aren't ninjas too though? And they have the shurikens.
I don't know. No shurikens. Straight up sword fight. Only swords.
Oh, just swords?
Yeah.
I think some ninjas have like katanas and stuff like that.
Yeah. So at that point, I think it might be more of an equal fight. But still.
Now, if it was a pack of ninjas and a pack of pirates, that would be a really cool fight to watch.
Yeah.
I would pay friggin' pay-per-view money for that.
I don't know. I think that pirates would definitely stand a chance. I think the pirates would stand a chance. I mean, I have to take the pirate side just for the purpose of our discussion. So that's Pirates vs. Ninjas. If anyone wants to tweet at us, tweet at Let's Review Cast. So at Let's Review Cast. no apostrophe, and let us know what you think. You can also get us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Let's Review Podcast. And you can also email us at letsreviewpodcast@gmail.com, which I'm going to open right now. So that's Ninjas vs. Pirates, and let's just head right into our technology section discussion.
Let's do it.
So, David, you're interested in buying a tablet.
Yes. The other day, I don't know how exactly it happened, but I was just sitting in bed. Maybe I was just on my iPod or my phone, and I was just like, a bigger one of these would be pretty cool.
That's
so
true.
I think that's literally how it happened, how the thought of me getting a tablet happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking up the sizes I would want, what I would be using it for, and trying to come across different things. And I know that you're a big tablet guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just a big tech person in general.
Well, that's true in general. Yeah. But I know you've mentioned a lot of tablets before, so I wanted to know what you had to say in the whole tablet game.
Mm-hmm. So I gave you a couple of questions to answer. One of them is, so the most important one is, what will you use the tablet for? That's definitely the most important.
I think mostly for reading, like comics and stuff, digital comics, browsing, and maybe playing some games.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so how much do you want to spend?
I don't know. I'm not really looking at price right now. I'm just looking at
Well, price is important because depending on how much you're willing to spend, that's the tablet that you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically.
Well, what's like an average price for a tablet? For like a good tablet?
It depends on what you want. So right now, the nicest 7-inch tablet that you can get, and this is no lie, pretty much any industry person will tell you this. The nicest 7-inch Android tablet that you can get is the Nexus 7, period.
Yeah, so, I was looking at the Nexus 7. It looked cool, except I heard that recently, after a year of its been out, that the power has been kind of not too well on them.
No, they're talking about how it's kind of slowing down, but that's because Asus uses kind of a crappy hard drive, and so there's a difference between a hard disk drive where the disk is spinning and a solid state drive where it's like flash memory, it's solid, there's no moving parts. So solid state drive only has a certain amount of read-write cycles, so you read data to it and you read data from it and write data to it. And so over its lifetime, it gets slower and slower.
Okay.
But you buying a new Nexus 7 probably wouldn't have that problem for like another year. I have one. I bought it. When did I buy it? I don't even remember when I bought it. It was probably like 4 or 5 or 6 months ago. I haven't experienced any of those problems yet. So.
And you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's a great tablet. The problem.
I'm thinking about waiting for. Isn't there a Nexus 7 II coming out?
Right. We'll talk about that. Right now I want to talk about really what you have right now, and then I'm gonna kind of move into. Okay. I mean, I love it. It's great for reading, great for watching Netflix, great for internet browsing. I mean, it's okay for internet browsing. That's something else I'll get into. I use it for music, but now you have to remember with tablets, it's Wi-Fi only mostly, unless you're willing to pay a lot more and get another data plan.
Yeah.
So that's something you have to take into account. So that's 7-inch tablet. Then the next kind of step up is the iPad Mini, which I forget how much it is right now. Hold on a minute. I think the iPad Mini.
Like $4.99.
I think the lowest model is starting at $329. So it's definitely a step up. It's another $130 up from the Nexus 7. But you're getting a bigger tablet. It's almost 10 inches. 10 inches? Sorry, no. It's almost an inch bigger. It's almost 8 inches instead of 7 inches. And you're getting the Apple ecosystem of apps. So what's happened for a long time is Android has not had a good selection of tablet apps. That's changing. Android has a lot of apps, but not a lot of tablet apps. But that's
Okay.
changing very quickly, so that's not as big a deal as it was 5 or 6 months ago. Personally, I would recommend the Nexus 7 over the iPad. Excuse me, over the iPad Mini. A, because I hate Apple. B, the Nexus 7 has a nicer screen. Um, I prefer Android to iOS.
I like that it has SIM card that you can put that in, or SD card. Or which
Actually,
one?
neither the
No, you
iPad
can't.
Mini nor the Nexus 7 have a SIM card. Sorry, a memory card, SD card. Neither of them have an SD card.
I don't know why I thought it did.
No, I don't think that I'm pretty sure that the iPad Mini does not have an SD card. So that's called. There's no removable memory. But again, with the Nexus 7, you're not paying for that. You're paying much less.
Yeah.
So then you have the Nexus 7, then the iPad Mini, and then I'm trying to think if there's really anything else in between. Not really. So then at $400,
Those are the two big ones, right?
well, the two big smaller ones.
Yeah.
Then at the next step, you have the Nexus 10. So that's the other Google tablet. That's we're at 10.1 inches. So that's kind of like a full-size tablet. It's made by Samsung. It's really powerful. Has a really great screen, really great battery life. It has that same UI, that user interface that the Nexus 7 has. So that's kind of more of a full-on tablet. It's not really just for media. You could kind of use that almost like it's more of a step in between. It's closer to a laptop than it is to a phone.
Okay.
I at one time owned a 10.1 inch tablet. I found it was better for reading comics, and that's not to say that you can't read comics on a 7-inch tablet. But obviously a 10-inch tablet is bigger and it's closer
it
to the
look better.
size. Yeah. Well, it's easier because you don't have to do as much moving around, and the image of the comic is nice and big. But that's really up to you. So that's at $400. Then, so I was actually at Best Buy the other day checking out some stuff, and I picked up a Samsung. Okay, Samsung has had two Galaxy tablets before it that are at 10 inches, and there's also some 7 inches, but those are shitty. You don't want one of those. Well, actually, Samsung also has an 8-inch tablet. I'm not sure how much it is. I don't think that if it's between that and Nexus 7 or the iPad Mini, I'd rather go with the iPad Mini. But the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 is it's a very nice 10-inch tablet. They must have done some software patching to it to make it smoother. It's much better than I thought it would be. It runs really fluidly, and it has what's called an S Pen. It's like a special pen that interacts with the screen, so it's like really, really accurate. And it
Kind of
has
like a DS or something. What are those called?
yeah. And a stylus. And
Stylus. There you go.
and it has an app where you can write out words and instead of typing them, and it worked really, really well. It was really cool.
Oh, it converts to text.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And it also has some other features that Android doesn't have. Regular Android, it has multi-window, so you can open certain apps on top of other apps. Like regular Android, you can only have one app open at a time. This you can kind of like have your browser open and also have like a movie playing at the same time, if that's what you're interested in. For me, I don't really need that because I have 2 or 3 devices that I could have open in front of me at any one time. So I mean that's at $450, so that's a step between the Nexus 10 and the iPad. The iPad, which I'm about to discuss. I would really definitely go to the store and try the Samsung tablet if you're looking at that price range, more than $400. And then we get to the iPad with Retina display, they call it. It's the latest iPad. It's at 9.7 inches, so it's slightly smaller, but they use a special aspect ratio. And obviously, you know what the iPad is. You've probably used
Yeah,
one before.
I've seen
Um,
them.
so I can't deny that it's a really good piece of technology. Um, and yeah, so it's really it kind of comes down to how much do you want to spend.
Mhm.
So out of the
So,
would you want to spend more than $400?
I could go like maybe a little higher, but around that
Yeah.
would probably be the best.
Then you need to answer. I mean, do you want 10-inch or do you want 7-inch?
That's what I'm still trying to figure out. I like the idea of having a 7-inch because it seems really portable and nice, but the idea of a 10-inch for like reading and like it would probably make browsing and like any games look a lot cooler. So I'm not putting that out of the question either.
With gaming, it's actually not as good because it's much more difficult to hold a 10-inch tablet than it is a 7-inch. The Nexus
That's true.
7 is great for gaming, but also gaming on Android or any tablet, at least to my knowledge, is not very good. You want to use like a controller if you're really serious about gaming, actually.
Well, I mean, there's like little tiny like Android games or something. Nothing too big.
Sorry, I think.
Yeah,
Can
just
you
like
say that?
little tiny Android games. Nothing too big
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. So you really want really want to do the comic books. Do you have like a collection of like what kind of do you already have comics? Like
Yeah,
digital?
I have a lot of digital comics.
And what are they in? What format?
Well, I know that there's a lot of they have apps that can read it in the file that have it, like Comic Rack and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
know that they have iOS and I think Android apps, so I can read those either way. So it wouldn't really matter. I would probably be able to read them on either.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I've experienced both. I preferred the 10-inch tablet, but the 7-inch is not bad either for reading comics. It's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I'll probably just go like you said to one of the stores and feel them all out and
yeah.
see what I like. But I'll definitely look at the one at the Note, right? The
Uh,
Galaxy Note.
well, I mean, I would rather you would. I don't know if you really like that over like
Well, I'm gonna look at it,
the Samsung
check
Nexus
it out.
10. If you want to spend over $400, that is going to be the highest quality, like the best made. That's going to be the best experience. The so and that's kind of more of a it's kind of more it's less of like a workhorse and more of a like enjoying media. So honestly, I think that that would be better. The Samsung Galaxy Note is 10.1 is more of a it's more of a device if you want to like get work done, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll look at the Nexus and both of them, the
Yeah.
7 and the 10, and see which one prefer the size and everything.
I think Best Buy will have both of those there for you to like pick up and try. So I would definitely recommend doing that.
All right.
So
Well, thank you for
I
the
hope
suggestions. No,
yeah.
definitely you helped. Yeah.
I mean, what are you thinking now?
Probably looking at mostly Android.
Yeah.
Probably the Nexus. That seems like where I want to
Okay.
go. Because
At
I
that
just hear
point,
about the Nexus all the times, and I also want to wait to see what happens with the 7 too. The next.
yeah. At that point, oh yeah, yeah. I would wait. That's another thing. Yeah, I would definitely wait. At least until the end of next month
Yeah, I hear
because
rumors of July, right?
yeah, they're supposed to announce something. Who knows if it'll actually come out? We don't know.
Yeah.
But it was around this time last year that they announced the Nexus 7, so we'll see what happens with that. Also, TheVerge.com, SlashGear.com, Engadget.com. These sites all have very good reviews of these devices, and you really want to take a look at that. Read through them thoroughly. Read through the comments. Make sure that you know what you're buying.
Yeah, definitely. I want to know what I'm buying before I get it.
trying to think what The Verge gave the Nexus 10. I mean, personally, $400 is now a lot to spend on a tablet.
Okay.
I would recommend that you get the Nexus 7 or wait and see if they come out with a new one, because the Nexus 10, it's more powerful, it has a nicer screen, but what do you really need that stuff for if all you're going to be doing is reading comics and browsing the web, you know what I mean?
That's true.
So, but don't let me really influence you too much. Definitely go take a look at it.
Will do. Thank you for the suggestions.
And if anyone has any feedback, we welcome it on our Facebook page, on Twitter.
Definitely.
Gmail me.
I want to hear all you guys' info on tablets.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. What are we going to talk about next? Do we want to talk about... We had some audience feedback this week. So the two things that we need to talk about with that... Well, we talked about ninjas already, technically. And the other item is black holes. I asked, what should we talk about this week? And one of you guys mentioned black holes.
Can I say names? Are we allowed to say names?
Sure.
Justin Tao.
He's our number one listener.
Our number one listener wants us to talk about black holes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm totally down with that because black holes are awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, black holes... No, black
well,
holes,
they're not that awesome.
No, black holes kind of scare the crap out of me, actually. The idea
because
that,
they're
like,
that awesome. They have that much power.
Yeah.
That's why they terrify.
I mean, and the craziest thing is that, like, nobody knows what happens at the middle of a black hole. How crazy is that?
I don't know. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just throw a camera in there or something. See what happens.
But, no, you can't do that. The center of a black hole is so dense that, like, everything becomes one thing. Think about
everything
that.
will become that one camera.
Yeah. What?
That's my logic.
It's so dense, not even light can escape it.
Nothing can escape it.
Yep.
That's the coolest thing. There's just things in the sky, explosions that are just sucking everything in, and nothing can escape. Constantly throughout the day.
How is that?
And it's always happening.
How is that cool? Imagine if a black hole wandered too close, and by too close I mean billions of light years away, and like people think.
I'm not saying that I want to get sucked into a black
Yeah.
hole. I just think the idea that that's always happening is pretty cool in nature.
You wouldn't even know. It would be like an instant. The last thing you see is like your body separating from your feet, and then you're gone. There's nothing.
Is that an accurate description?
Yeah.
Of what happens when you go into the black hole?
I
Your
used to
body
watch a
separates.
lot of. They talked about it on the History Channel. There's like a special about like the 7 ways the world would end,
And one of them was a black hole.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to happen. Well, I wouldn't want the world to end either way. So that's
Me
just a
too.
general statement.
Let's Review
Right there.
podcast supports the continuation of the human race. I'm going to tweet that. So now we can say that we talked about black holes.
Black holes. The craziest thing in the universe. One of them. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy things in the universe. Black holes are definitely one of them.
So now.
And speaking of going in the sky, let's talk about this Project Loon.
That was a great segue there. I don't
You
think
like
we've
my
ever
segue
had-
skills?
I don't think we've ever had a segue that was so good.
I'm the segue master from
amazing.
now on. So Project Loon. I was looking this thing up with like that article you sent me. Like I think it was like the main one. That seems. I mean, it seems kind of odd. Like I wouldn't have thought of that being a way to get internet to people, but if it works, that's awesome.
It's more than awesome. This to me.
Excuse me.
This to me.
My
is-
awesome words weren't enough.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go on a kind of nerd tirade here.
Go for it.
This to me is Google at its apex, and I don't think people understand the ways in which this is amazing.
Well, it's getting internet to so many new people.
Right.
which
Right.
would be an awesome thing because
Like,
internet's pretty
A,
crazy.
there's no other company in the world, not well, yeah, not really Facebook, not Apple, not Microsoft, not any company that does this sort of stuff. Google has driving cars, self-driving cars. They have
Google Glass.
internet balloons. They post information about disasters when they occur so that people can quickly get to the information that they need. Even though obviously Google is a company and it's about making money, they also do a lot of stuff and spend a lot of money. They spend millions of dollars on self-driving cars, which may never ever make it to consumer hands. Um, it's awesome. Google's an awesome company.
They've got a lot
So
of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, they do, and they really
And
do.
they and they got TV too, right? Google Fiber is another thing.
Google Fiber is in several different cities. If you're lucky enough to live in one of them, you can get gigabit internet, and also I think they do TV. Gigabit means 1,000 megabits per second, and there's 8 megabits in a megabyte. No, yes. If you take a megabyte and divide it by 8, you get megabits. So it's really, really fast internet. The internet you probably have in your house right now is probably like 20 megabits per second. This is 1,000.
Jeez,
And it costs less.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It costs less.
Yeah. You can actually get
Ooh.
free internet. You just have to pay for the cost of installation, which I think they said was $300, but you can split that across $20 payments.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're giving
Yeah,
internet
that's
away for free. That's awesome. It's so. I mean,
They just want to get internet to everyone.
Right.
Now they're
And
throwing it in the sky with the balloons.
which we're going to talk about in a second.
Yeah.
But obviously, the goal is to get internet to as many people as possible, so as many people as possible can see their ads and they can make money. But at the same time, their mission is to spread as much information as possible around the world. Hold on a second. So do you want to basically talk about what they're doing?
With Loon?
Yeah.
Okay, so the general gist of what I got is, I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but they're going to have things attached to these balloons, and they're going to go to kind of like the edge of space, higher than airplanes and clouds, and they're going to go over different areas of the world to where, more rural areas where people don't have great internet connection, and from those balloons, it's going to broadcast Wi-Fi or internet to these people so that they can have it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I could explain it in a little bit of more technical terms. I think the reason why it's up so well, there's several reasons why the balloons are going up so high. So they're actually in the stratosphere, which is at the edge of space, literally.
Yeah.
That's how high in the air they are. And one of the reasons is so that they're not interfering with airplane traffic. So
yeah, you don't want an airplane to hit one of those in the middle of the day.
Yeah, airplanes are actually flying beneath these balloons. Another is because they can use a lot less fuel because they're able to use air currents that they know blow a certain way at a certain speed, and that's how they move the balloons around. So they can have it go up or down and catch these air currents to move to the side.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So are these literal balloons, or
yeah, they're like weather balloons. Yeah, they're hot air balloons.
Oh, okay.
And they're solar powered, so they never really need to land unless something goes wrong. And it's really freaking awesome. I mean, and so they're it's basically like Wi-Fi, but so they're transmitting down to buildings that will have a special antenna on them that Google's providing. Currently, it's not really very, very fast internet. It's only 3G speeds. So, but I mean, there's
It's
a
still
huge
internet in
difference.
places that you didn't have it.
Exactly. There's a huge difference between having internet and not having it at all, or having slow internet and not having it at all.
Yeah, and I'm sure that that's something that they would work on progressively throughout the years to make it bigger and faster. If
Definitely.
Project Loon goes well.
Yeah. They're testing it right now in New Zealand, which is pretty cool.
So are they going to do this around the world or just in America?
Uh, I don't think it will be. Actually, it won't be in America. It's going to be in places like Africa and Asia where they don't have
Oh,
internet. So, I mean, this idea that the whole world will be connected is like so like reality changing, and
yeah,
I don't think
literally.
people are
It's
grasping how amazing that is. That you can communicate like
because
you'll
yeah.
go ahead.
You think that like most people in the world are connected, but there's still a significant amount of people that don't have any connection to the internet or electronics. So
Hmm.
the way that this will be bridging that gap between people who don't and do is like
Hmm.
totally awesome. So now there's so many more people joining, the web, and all these people around the world connected through this one thing called the internet,
Hmm.
all around the world. It's awesome.
The statistic they give, it's actually 5 billion people don't have internet access.
Wow.
So there's 7 billion people,
Yeah, it's more than half.
very very significant amount of people. Um, and you're talking about like really rural areas, but that's where a lot of people in the world live.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see where this goes and see what happens. If anybody has any feedback out
When
there
is
about
this
this.
supposed to launch? Did they give a day or like
Uh,
a time period?
well, like I said, it's already started in New Zealand. They're testing it
Yeah.
now. I mean, otherwise, no, I have no idea when. But I'm sure that
Okay.
we'll hear more news about it, if not from Google, from major media sources. Um,
That's gonna be some pretty big news. But you know what was even bigger news?
what was even bigger news?
The Xbox One taking away their policies.
Oh my god, dude! When I saw this, like, my jaw just dropped, and I was like, it was just so. It just like totally stopped me, and I had to like stop what I was doing and like run around. I think I was at work, and just be like, "Oh my god, they reversed their policies! Oh my god!"
Yeah, I was in Kyle from Gamers.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was at his radio show and then he like broke the radio for like breaking news and announced that, and I was just in the studio and I'm like, whoa, that's
yeah.
awesome.
So crazy that. So we should kind of do a little bit of background. I think we may have talked about this on the last show when we were discussing with E3, but Microsoft had been imposing certain policies. One that you needed internet in order to use your Xbox, even to play single-player games. Without internet, you could not. It would require every 24 hours, excuse me, to check with Microsoft servers to make sure that you owned a copy of the game. So that meant that anyone with spotty internet access, well, not necessarily spotty, but anyone in again, like we're talking about, in a rural area. I mean, look at Bill, our co-host. He's not really in a rural area, but he doesn't have internet right now, and who knows for how long he'll be without it.
Yeah.
And there was a huge outcry from the military because a lot of them take their consoles overseas, and that's like all they can do during their downtime.
I have a
And
friend that was in Afghanistan. That's what they would do.
really,
Yeah.
did he talk about this at all, or she?
Well, he's not over there anymore. He's
Okay,
now stationed back in California, thankfully.
okay.
But over there, yeah, they play a lot of video games.
Hmm. Hmm. And so people are saying, well, anyway, we'll get to that. And then the other policy was they were very strict about when you could trade and sell your games.
Yeah, that was silly.
Yeah, so the idea was you would only be able to sell your game once to someone that you knew for, it had to be on your friends list for at least 30 days. And then once you sold it to them, they could not sell it again. Um,
And I believe the Xbox took away the region block as well for their games, which is
yeah,
new for consoles.
yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, a lot of consoles you can't, if you have say an Xbox One from North America, you wouldn't be able to play an Xbox One game that's exclusive to Japan. You would need to
True.
buy a Japanese Xbox One. So now apparently with the North American Xbox One, you can play overseas games,
Mhm.
which a lot of consoles like the PS2 and like, you know, even the PS4 coming out, I think is region blocked, is it?
The PS4 is not at all. There's no region
Oh, it's
block.
not?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
that was one of the first announcements after E3. Um,
Okay.
So you
But
have an
those are three.
Xbox.
Huh?
Do you also have a PS3?
No, I don't. I only
No.
have an Xbox 360
Okay.
and a Wii.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so those were the kind of the policies, and then there was also what people were kind of excited about was, um, there was also a supposedly there was a there was a you were supposed to have a live you were supposed to be able to share with up to 10 people your games. They could at any time that you're not playing it access your game and play it, basically any of your games that you own. But then I actually heard recently on Reddit, not Reddit, The Verge posted this, that or Kotaku or one of those blogs, that a disgruntled Xbox employee, he like gave away saying that apparently you wouldn't be able to access the game completely. It was only like a 30-minute demo. So if that had happened, if they had promised this feature and then it was released like that, people would have gone nuts because that was like the
Definitely.
only thing saving Microsoft really. But okay, so I've given a lot of crap to Microsoft, and I kind of understand why that they were doing all this.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. It's just not. I don't know. It's not cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real driving force is they're trying to push developers and publishers to releasing their games on a digital platform like Steam.
Yeah. Just completely getting rid of CD gaming.
And the only way really to do that is the reason why games cost $60 is because people sell the games and then the publishers don't see any of that money. So now when you have a digital game, people can't sell it, so you can release it at a lower price and still make the same amount of money. And I think that they could have just done that anyway. I don't see what would stop publishers from releasing their games for less money anyway. So anyway,
do you think that Xbox could have pulled it off if they just went completely into digital?
Oh yeah.
Like they just cut out the discs?
Well, I don't know about cutting out the discs. I think that they could have very easily pushed their digital platform, whatever it is, Xbox Live, not Arcade Store, whatever it is, and Xbox Live Marketplace, I think it's called.
That's what. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and
I should know I'm on Xbox like every day.
Yeah. And
it's just a store to me.
Hold on a second. Okay, and so have you ever heard of Angry Joe on YouTube?
No, do I want to?
Yeah,
he's angry. Is he angry?
He's like a YouTube guy that does a show. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's him. And so he was at E3 and he actually interviewed one of the Microsoft or Xbox executives, and he was kind of trying to like push the point, like, if you're trying to push this digital platform, why are you using DRM instead of like having sales? And he was asking the guy, like, are you going to have sales like Steam does, where the games are like 50% off? The guy wouldn't answer him really. So
see, if they wanted to go into digital, that's the route that they would have to go.
Yeah, exactly. The way that Steam does it. Steam will lower the price of games at the point where you would buy them used because they're old.
Yeah.
So it's that simple. If you're going to release a game and you want, if you want to have a digital platform, then you need to pressure the publishers to release the games at a lesser price. So anyway, Microsoft and Xbox, they reversed their decision, and now they said it's going to be just like Xbox 360. So you can either do it the digital way, where you can't, obviously if you buy a digital copy, you cannot resell it or trade it. Or you can do it the physical way, and you can play your game offline. You can sell it as much as you want, trade it. But if you're going to play the game, the disc has to be in the Xbox, just like the Xbox 360. So what do you think about that, David?
To be completely honest, it totally changed my decision on buying a console.
Yeah, this is what Bill
Yep.
said too.
It definitely changed it.
Yeah.
I was leaning PS4, but I still had that last ounce of hope for Microsoft because there's a lot of Xbox One exclusive games that I want to play, like Titanfall and then Halo, Dead Rising 3, that I wouldn't be able to. Not too many PS4 exclusives. Um, so now that they took that away, I'm like, oh, I mean, it's a little more expensive still, but I might just save up an extra $100 and just go that way.
Well, it's more expensive because of the
The Connect,
Connect.
yeah. And that's something that you can't really get rid of. So yeah, but it's looking like I'm going Xbox now from that change.
Mhm. So
And
you're definitely gonna go Xbox.
it looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. That's
The only bad thing that I still hope that maybe Microsoft can do in the future is the lack of indie games, which
yeah, I'm
was
sure.
a big point for PS4 that I was
Mhm.
really going for, but Microsoft didn't really seem to say anything about it. So if they can get indie games thrown into the mix somehow later on, that would be like the icing on the cake for me.
Mhm. I mean, I'm sure that eventually they will. They'll because Xbox Live Arcade became a really huge moneymaker for them,
Definitely.
and they have a lot of indie games, right?
Yeah, they have indie games now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but I'm
mean,
sure they could release it to like a little more.
mhm.
But
The problem is Microsoft is doing this very strict platform, like with Windows 8, where you have to get, just like with Apple, you have to get their approval in order to put a game on their platform. So we'll
yeah,
see what happens. But
do you have any feelings towards the Xbox changing their
I
policies?
mean,
I mean, you're not really a
me,
console gamer; you're more PC.
yeah, I actually had a huge fight with my friend about this for several days. A friend that I've had since high school, and he ended up deleting me off of Facebook, and I'll probably never talk to him again.
Wow, what happened
Yeah,
here?
it was pretty crazy. But he was a supporter of the DRM pretty staunchly, and he's basically saying that people ruined it, and people are stupid, and that because they're stupid and they cave to this vocal minority, that now we won't get to see this cool what could have been the digital platform. I think he's totally wrong. I think Microsoft going back on what they said is kind of caving into pressure, and that's never. I mean, they should have, even though I think it was wrong, I think they should have stuck to their guns and did wrong, or
Mhm,
proven us right.
sure.
So that's one thing. I mean, I still think that Microsoft is anti-consumer. I think that they just got a lot of bad press, and they were like, "Guys,
No, yeah,
we're getting a lot of bad press. We have to do something
definitely,
about this."
definitely, that was the bigger part of it.
Uh-huh. And so I mean, it's a tough call, really. Um, hold on one sec. But I mean, I'm still not going to buy a console. I actually just
No, yeah,
I bought a really nice video card just today, and I'm buying a new processor next week, and I'm going to be
you're just
PC
gonna
gaming.
save that money on and upgrading your PC,
Yeah.
right?
Well, actually, I'm going to spend around the same amount of money that it would cost to buy an Xbox One to upgrade my
Uh,
PC.
That's a good short option, though.
Yeah, I mean, I use my PC a lot for work too, and I'm going to be doing like I'm definitely a power user. I'm planning on like running like two other PCs on top of my on virtual machines.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I've been trying to do that for a long time with the extra processing power. And like people often say, it's growing up, people have said this, and I kind of understood it back then. Like, what are you going to do with all that extra power? And you don't need a computer that's that fast. But as I get more and more into IT stuff, I understand. Yes, you do. So I'm going to stick with PC. There's a lot of great PC games coming out, and I have a lot of really great PC games to play right now. I just resubbed to WoW, playing PlanetSide 2. We'll talk about that more.
And a lot of the console games are coming to PC as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's coming for all three. So
Um, I'm I'm really excited for Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked what I saw at E3.
hopefully, Destiny comes to PC and The Division. I really hope. I think Ubisoft. That's Ubisoft, right? Yeah, it's Tom
Yeah.
Clancy. Ubisoft was like PC gamers. You can make a petition and petition
Oh, to
us.
see the Division, right?
Yeah, and they were like, if there's interest, we'll release it for the PC, and they got like hundreds of thousands of signatures.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so it'll definitely be coming to PC. I'm excited for that.
And I think
Uh,
Titanfall. Did you see that Titanfall?
Titanfall, you said is Xbox exclusive, right?
Yeah, but I think it's Xbox exclusive and PC.
Yeah, I hope so because that looks awesome. I'm
Yeah.
excited. And there's a lot of other games coming out that I can't really remember right now. I'm also thinking about buying a 3DS
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Titanfall is coming to Windows.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more. At first, I didn't really give a crap, but I'm getting more and more excited. It actually looks like a really cool game. So I'm
Yeah.
also getting really excited for Destiny because that's supposed to be like a legit MMO, right?
Yeah. Like with most of these games, they're just like blending in the MMO to the single player mode. So I think it's gonna be doing that as well.
Mm. So I'm excited to see where PlanetSide 2 goes. And I'm just there's a lot of games
Yeah,
that I
it's
want to play.
PlanetSide 2 is the one I wouldn't be able to play because that's PS4 and
Oh
Windows,
right,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's
You gotta
so
let me
good.
know how it is.
It's so good. It's so much fun. I've actually spent money on it for the first time. I spent $10. It was like $7 of real money to buy a weapon, but it's worth it
It was a dope
'cause,
weapon.
yeah, it's really cool. You get to be. I'm like a sniper. Well, not a sniper, an infiltrator. So it's like I can go invisible, and then I have like a really fast submachine gun. So you like
Oh,
sneak
nice.
up behind someone, come out of invisibility, and just kill them, and then go back into invisibility and run away.
That
It's
sounds
really
dope.
cool. Yeah, it's really fun. So anyway, that's something we could talk about another time. So movies, or
Yep.
I wanted to mention quickly. There was an article that Steam is supposedly about to allow better game sharing. So hopefully
Yeah, I saw that too
yeah,
on the thing.
that'd be really cool to see in the future. We mentioned this last week, and it's definitely coming. I'm working on because Bill and David both will be absent uh, one of these weekends. I know David will be here, but Bill won't. And then the following weekend, neither of them will be here. I'm working on lining up some guest hosts to talk about this feminist perspective of video games. There's a YouTube video. I don't think we've posted it in show notes yet. If you want to give it a watch, if you could just look it up on YouTube, it's called Tropes vs. Women in Video Games. For me, I hate it. I totally disagree with a lot of it. Some of it I agree with, but a lot of it I disagree with. But we're going to be talking about it. It's going to be super intense. We're probably going to devote an entire show to it. So that will be in the near future.
I'll check out the video. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. It's even though I hate it, it's still something that's important to watch.
Yeah. No, I'll check it out. I don't know what it's about, so I'll
It's
just go in with blind eyes.
Well, okay, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Um,
But I know it has to do with feminists and video games, which
yeah.
I
You
do
should
with both. So
you should see it. You should see it and you'll tell me what you think about it. So I think we are going to talk about one or two more things. We're trying to kind of keep it smaller tonight. Unfortunately, we actually got through most of what I wanted to talk about.
yeah.
Next week, we were going to talk about how Google Reader, which I talked about earlier, is shutting down. But we'll talk about that next week, hopefully when Bill is hopefully on. But right now, we're going to talk about how Robert Downey Jr. is officially back for Avengers 2 and Avengers 3. David, do you want to lead us off?
So the big thing going on was that Robert Downey Jr. had a Marvel contract for about 6 or 7 films, and he did all of them. So Iron Man 3 finished. You saw, for all those people who saw Iron Man 3, you saw how it ended. It could very possibly be the end of Tony Stark and Iron Man. So people were wondering, is he going to come back? And his contract was ended, and there was a big debate going on. People were saying to recast him. People were saying, we need him back. He's the only Iron Man. And apparently last week or a couple days ago, he's officially coming back for the Avengers 2 and 3. So we'll be seeing Tony Stark at least 2 more times.
Mm-hmm. So there was actually
Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark, at least.
Right, at least 2 more times. And so there's actually a bit more to the story. I'm sure that you know, but it's worth mentioning. So first of all, there was a problem with Jeremy Renner. I think it was just Jeremy Renner. I'm not sure if it was Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson.
With their pay, right?
Yeah, they were supposedly not getting paid enough.
Robert Downey Jr. got paid way more than every single other person in the Avengers.
Right. So they were all really pissed, and they were saying they weren't going to do the movie. Then Robert Downey Jr. was saying he wasn't going to do the movie if they didn't get paid more. Then Joss Whedon was saying he wasn't going to direct the movie if Robert Downey Jr. wasn't doing the movie. So it was kind of like this whole chain. So I'm guessing
that if one thing went off, everything would have exploded.
Exactly. So I'm guessing that they settled their dispute and everything worked out because now Robert Downey Jr. is in it. Hopefully, Joss Whedon will be.
Yeah.
Also. I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Would you have been as excited about the Avengers if they cast someone else as Iron
Man? I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
I don't like recasting. It doesn't matter what it is. Recasting is always a little weird at first.
Mm-hmm.
Even going from Iron Man to Iron Man 2, we're recasting Rhodey from Terrence Howard to.
True.
Yeah. Forgot his name.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. I shouldn't forget his name because he's awesome. With Don.
So.
No, okay.
No,
I don't like Don Cheadle in general. Really?
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, he's a good actor, but he was not good at War Machine. He was. I mean, I just think maybe it was like the direction and the writing wasn't as good. I don't know, but. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I would have still watched it even if somebody else would play Iron Man. And a lot of people were. There was this line going around that they were comparing Iron Man to James Bond. You can recast the same role and just keep going on with the story. Which I mean, I'm sure when James Bond first started, the thought of recasting it was wild. But now you do it every 3 or 4 movies, and you're just like, oh, I wonder who's next. So if they can get somebody else who's and everyone says, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, which he is right now. But if they can get somebody else who's awesome, good for them. I'd watch it.
Who else do you think that could fill that role?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
I'd have to go through looking at pictures.
Yeah, it's basically something that I like. I kind of think about wow, I should really take some time and think about that. I never actually have thought about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't think of anyone off the top of the head, but I'm sure that there would be other people who would do an amazing Tony Stark. Probably different from the way Robert Downey Jr. does it because you don't want to carbon copy the same character.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna get a new actor.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool too to see other people's takes on Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm. I think Matt Damon would be cool.
Matt Damon?
Mm-hmm.
Matt Damon's just kind of cool in general.
He's great. Are you excited for his
I want to see
movie?
Elysium.
Yeah,
Elysium?
I don't know.
So good. Did you see District 9?
No, I need to see it. I know it's supposed to be really good, and the same guy's doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Elysium just looks like. Did you ever see The Island by Michael Bay?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that, and I like that movie, but a lot of people don't. I don't know.
I guess it shares in similarities, but people aren't brainwashed. They're just trying to get to this better place, this haven in the sky because Earth's shattered and destroyed.
Well, it's legit. The place. It's an actual legit place. It's not like.
Yeah, it's like a big space station.
Mm-hmm. It's really funny because before I saw that trailer, I was actually thinking about a short story I wanted to write that was that plot where there's where the rich, except that my idea was more we've solved the problem of death, so humanity. Yeah. Well, no. Only they. So basically, it's like a government-run program where anyone who can pay the price, basically, or whatever, is allowed to basically live forever. But people who can't have to like petition for it.
Isn't that like that
So
movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, where they had the they could just keep living if they bought time?
I mean, it would be more of like a dystopian sci-fi kind
No,
of
yeah.
thing.
I'm just saying the idea of getting rid
Uh,
of death, like not the whole thing, yeah. But I don't know. I think Elysium looks pretty cool. I want to see it in IMAX, along with Pacific Rim in IMAX.
I'm still not at all. And apparently, Bill's not getting on the show because he has fucking Cheez-It fingers.
Ew.
Wow. What a great co-host, right, David?
Cheat it fingers.
Yeah, I'm excited to. I mean, I've been so bad lately. Like, I haven't seen Superman. I haven't seen This Is the End. I've just been listening to and reading reviews, which is really bad.
Yeah.
So
The only thing what I haven't seen right now, I haven't seen Monsters University yet, but that just came out.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend just saw it. She said it was good. A lot
Yeah, I
of
heard it's good.
it's good.
I liked World War Z. I saw that the other day too.
You saw it?
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nothing like the book, so if
Right,
you're
that's what-
going in liking that, yeah, it's completely different.
Mhm.
But there was some cool new takes to the zombies,
Mhm.
to zombie movies that I
Yeah.
hadn't seen. It was a lot more realistic.
See,
than
when I
the way
first
that
saw
it seemed.
when I first saw the trailer,
The
I was
trailer
like,
looks, yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. The trailer didn't really do the movie justice because I went into the movie with like pretty low expectations, and so that kind of like blew it up for me because I was like, I'm not too crazy about this trailer. But it's the whole movie isn't like swarms of zombies in waves. There are a lot of cool scenes where it's just like slow zombies like just like moaning around
Oh, yeah?
doing nothing. So yeah,
I heard
especially the end.
that movie had a lot of problems with the end of the movie. Like, they had to have someone come in and totally. Actually, I think it was David
Yeah,
Lindelof,
rewrite
who
it,
we've
yeah.
talked about before.
David Lindelof.
Yeah,
Not the
people.
best man to call in for an ending.
That's what people were saying. But apparently, he did a good job. He's been doing so much work lately. It's crazy. He's been
Any
involved with
big
everything.
movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
He's.
Uh,
I think he's going to be involved with
all
Star
sorts of
Wars. Yeah.
I
Alright,
like Lindelof from Lost, but yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
like a lot of the stuff he's done, really. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up because it's been about an hour.
All right.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about next week. Please tweet at us.
Bill back in the picture, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Or I'll have someone else if not. Tweet at us at Let's Review Cast. Tweet get us on Facebook, facebook.com/Let's Review Podcast, and email us at Gmail. Let's Review Podcast at gmail.com. David, do you have a recommendation for this week?
Yes, I did have a recommendation. Can't currently remember it, so I'm just gonna recommend the Whack album by The Lonely Island. It's pretty funny.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
Lonely
really,
Island.
I still really like The Lonely Island. They've had like two
Their
good
stuff
songs.
is really silly. They're what?
They've had like two good songs that I feel like I would listen to.
Lonely Island's not so much about replayability as just like I can put it on every once in a while and the songs will make me laugh because they're
Yeah.
just like that ridiculous and out of there. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Whack album. I thought it was going to be a little different from their first two albums where it kept the same silliness and over the topness. There's a song on it called "I Fucked My Aunt," so that's that's how you know what you're getting into.
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it out. And besides my recommendation, I'm also, of course, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, recommending our sponsor for this week, Yoleo Reader. Let me spell it again because I forgot how to spell it. YOLEO Reader.com. If you're looking for a replacement to Google Reader, please tell your friends about it also. And my actual recommendation for this week is a podcast with Alec Baldwin called Here's the Thing. It's first of all, Alec Baldwin is a master podcaster.
Is he really? I've never
He
heard him podcast.
His voice is perfect, and his voice sounds exactly like it sounds on 30 Rock. Like you would think he's playing a character. That's Alec Baldwin. It's so
No, yeah.
crazy. It's so crazy, and so it's really good. He like sits down with these really famous people, and he kind of just picks apart their lives. And I definitely recommend it if you like podcasts. Take a look. So that's
Another
all for-
recommendation,
Oh,
another
go ahead.
podcast. You should check out the Joe Rogan Experience. One of my personal favorites. If you like the comedian Joe Rogan, he just sits down and talks to a lot of famous people
Oh, I've never
for
heard of
about
that.
2 hours.
It's
Yeah,
good.
it's a pretty good podcast. I love it. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorites. Yeah.
I'll
So
check it
that
out.
just reminded me.
And
Uh,
I'm gonna recommend every week. I'm gonna recommend every week Pocket Casts for Android. It's a great app. It's hooked up to the iTunes podcast directory, so you can look up all your favorite podcasts, subscribe to them. It syncs across devices. I think it costs like $3 or $2. Really great app. So that's going to be it for this week. David, did you have anything else?
no, that's about it for me.
You want to talk about your Facebook really quick?
Yeah, I'm still working on my EP. For my stage name Murdoch. You can go on Facebook.com/official Murdoch, MURDOCK. I'm planning on dropping the undergrad EP later in the summer or early in the fall semester. But writing's going on right now, producing, recording, and it's going to be a pretty sick hip hop EP. And I
Very
hope
cool.
people like it. Yeah.
Very cool. And of course, you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/AXSCHECH. No, Bill. Bill's watching the show. He's asking me to plug his website, but he's not here, so no. It'll be in the show notes. Also, you can go to my website, axschech.info, and find everything you need to about the podcast at axschech.info/podcast. Thank you for watching, if you're still watching. Thank you for listening, if you picked this up after I put it up. And please email us, tweet at us, Facebook message, or post with feedback, and we will definitely talk about it.
And like our Facebook page.
Yeah, like our Facebook page, again, facebook.com/Let's Review Podcast. If you give us feedback, we could even invite you on the show. We're still a pretty small operation here, so who knows what could happen. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
We are out.